Well, I maxi-sized my hot dog. Why have a foot long when you can have a...
Excited. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but I used to do this show called That's So Raven. And we're doing a That's So Raven too.
Every day of your life is a page in your book. The person I am, my book is available for all to read at all times. So if I don't want an embarrassing chapter...
What happened to Raven-Symoné after this interview? Why did it turn out to be so sad? Raven-Symoné, once a beloved star, seemed to change a lot after that moment.
Raven Baxter, I'm still me, I'm still Raven, but I am a mother this time, and I'm actually going to be a single mother raising 2 kids, and one of them is going to learn that she has vision.
What caused her to face such struggles? Was it the pressure of fame? How did this interview affect her life? Let's take a closer look at the tough times she went through after this sad moment.
I think there's definitely a child star curse. I don't think I avoided it. I think there are many types of curses that happens with a...
Raven started her career at a very young age. She became famous for playing Olivia Kendall on The Cosby Show. Olivia was a cute and funny character, and Raven quickly became a fan favorite. This early exposure to the entertainment world opened many doors for her. It seemed like she was on her way to being a huge star. But the truth is, her life wasn't as easy as it appeared.
Take a peek while I cake. I Dr. Seuss mix, ting-a-ling-a-boom. I pop for your pick. Shazam, chick jam, the letter rap. Shoot, tear, choo-choo, the letter rap flag.
Growing up in the spotlight came with a lot of pressure. Being in the public eye meant Raven was constantly being watched and judged. People had certain expectations for her, and she had to deal with the pressure to always be perfect. As a young girl, it was hard for Raven to figure out who she really was, while also trying to live up to the standards of the entertainment industry.
Every day of your life is a page in your book. The person I am, my book is available for all to read at all times. So if I don't want an embarrassing chapter...
Many child stars face a big challenge as they grow older. Their childhood image and the roles they played often no longer fit them. For Raven-Symoné, this struggle was very real. As a young girl, she was known as the cute child actress. But as she grew up, it became harder to escape that image. She didn't want to be stuck playing the same type of roles. So she worked hard to redefine herself.
It's like I stopped walking because this is all I know. So I went back because it's just easier.
Raven decided to take on more mature roles and explore new parts of her career. She didn't just want to act, she also wanted to be known for her music. She released albums like Raven-Symoné and This Is My Time to show her fans that she could do more than just act. These albums marked a new chapter for her, one where she could express herself artistically and personally in ways that felt more true to who she was. Her big break came in 2003 when she landed a role in the hit Disney Channel show That's So Raven. In the show, she played a teenager with psychic abilities. This role was groundbreaking because it was one of the first times a young African-American girl got to be the star of a show on such a big platform. It was a huge deal, and it made Raven even more famous. The show became a massive hit and helped her become known as a multi-talented entertainer. However, as That's So Raven grew in popularity, it also brought a lot of pressure. People began to scrutinize her life in ways she hadn't experienced before.
Now she's opening up about how the entertainment industry has perpetuated her message.
Over the years, she has grown into someone who values being true to herself, and this has affected the way she handles relationships. Raven became a strong advocate for body positivity and self-acceptance. She often talked about the importance of loving yourself just the way you are, no matter what society says you should look like. Her message resonated with many of her fans, especially young women who were struggling with similar pressures. Raven shared her own ups and downs openly, encouraging others to focus on their mental health and self-worth instead of seeking approval from others.
Raven reveals that she was body shamed growing up about her weight, and it took a toll on her mentally.
In 2013, Raven made another important move in her personal life. She publicly came out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community. This was a big moment for her. She tweeted that she was happy being herself and had found love with a woman. Raven started dating Miranda Madai, and their relationship quickly became a source of happiness for her. The couple often shares pictures and moments from their life on social media, showing a happy and loving partnership. This openness about her relationship shows how much Raven has changed over time. She is now comfortable being herself in front of the world and embraces her true identity. For Raven, her relationship with Miranda is not just about love, it's also about being authentic and real, something that wasn't always easy for her.
Because of her weight. However, Raven says she's pleased with how much more accepting people are today and that she was surprised Disney even reached out to her after she revealed she was in a relationship.
However, being in a relationship while in the public eye comes with its own challenges. People constantly watch and judge celebrities, and Raven's relationship has not been an exception. There is always pressure from the media and from outsiders who have opinions about her personal life. Raven has talked openly about how difficult it can be to manage her love life while being in the spotlight. But through it all, she has learned the importance of taking care of herself. She knows that mental health is important, and she has worked hard to protect her well-being. In fact, she is an advocate for mental health, sharing her own struggles with anxiety and the pressures that come with being famous. One of the biggest challenges Raven faced was her mental health. The pressure of being a child star was heavy, and it affected her in many ways. She has openly shared her struggles with anxiety and depression. Raven has talked about how hard it was to deal with these feelings while growing up in such a public way. She wants people to understand that mental health is just as important as physical health, especially for those who work in the entertainment industry.
Well, I maxi-sized my hot dog. Why have a foot long when you can have a...
After That's So Raven ended in 2007, things weren't as simple. Raven found it hard to get acting roles that felt right for her. She took a break from acting to reflect on her life and figure out what she really wanted.
It's like I stopped walking because this is all I know. So I went back because it's just easier.
This time off was important for her mental health and allowed her to focus on other passions outside of acting. During this break, she realized that she needed to choose roles that matched her values and artistic vision, instead of just taking any opportunity that came her way. When Raven returned to the public eye, she made a big change in her career. She joined The View, a talk show that brings together a group of women to talk about current events. On the show, Raven is able to share her opinions on important social and political issues, marking a shift from her earlier acting career. This new chapter in her career allowed Raven to step outside the typical celebrity roles and become more involved in discussions that matter to her.
Man and a woman. Okay, well, orientation also goes hand in hand with marriage in that situation. If it was a man and a woman and one was black and one was white and they discriminated against, we could also go back into the Constitution that's had many amendments.
Symone has always been known for being outspoken. When she became a co-host on The View, she brought that same honesty to the table. Many fans appreciated how she spoke her mind, but her opinions didn't always sit well with everyone. Some viewers felt her comments were bold and refreshing, while others thought they were insensitive or out of touch. One example that caused a lot of buzz was when Raven said she didn't identify as African American. Instead, she saw herself as just American. This upset many people, especially in the Black community. They felt her statement dismissed their struggles and experiences. Even her co-hosts on The View criticized her, saying she wasn't acknowledging the challenges that come with being Black in America.
But at the same time, the other side of my head says, if I wouldn't have said this, people wouldn't know who I was or what I stand for, and my voice wouldn't have been heard. And just because 10 people...
For Raven, these moments were hard. She faced a lot of backlash, not just from strangers on social media, but also from fans and colleagues. It showed how tough it can be for Black women in the spotlight to share their personal beliefs without being judged harshly. Being on The View put Raven under a microscope. Every word she said was analyzed and sometimes twisted. While some people criticized her for being too bold, others admired her bravery. Raven wanted to create a space where different ideas could be shared and talked about. Even though her time on The View was filled with challenges, she used it as an opportunity to speak her truth and stand up for what she believed in. Also in one episode on The View, where a topic was about a study showing how Americans judge people based on their names. Raven shared her opinion in a way that upset many viewers. She said, "I'm not about to hire you if your name is Watermelon Drea. It's just not going to happen." Her statement sparked immediate backlash, with people accusing her of supporting discrimination. Raven suggested that using the term discriminatory was more accurate than calling it racist. However, this didn't make her comment any less offensive to many. People argued that she was reinforcing negative stereotypes, especially against Black Americans, by mocking unique names often tied to their culture. Another controversial moment came when a South Carolina police officer forcibly removed a Black teenage girl from her class. While most people were outraged at the officer's actions, Raven focused on the fact that the girl was using her phone during class. Many felt this was an insensitive take on a serious incident. The backlash over Raven's comments about names led to calls for her to leave the show. A petition was even created, asking for her resignation. Critics said she was out of touch and that her words hurt the very communities she belonged to. While Raven hasn't publicly addressed the backlash, during a 2017 interview with People, she talked about her time on The View and if she regrets anything she said on the show. Raven admitted she stopped herself from saying many things she might have regretted. Still, she joked that she could have stayed quieter. She explained her mixed feelings, saying, "Most of it is not said. Most of it is, I should have just kept my mouth shut. But at the same time, if I didn't speak up, people wouldn't know who I am or what I stand for." She added that even if some people didn't agree with her, others might have appreciated her honesty. When asked about Bill Cosby's crimes, Raven said it wasn't hard for her to talk about it because she tried not to take it personally. She admitted it was a tricky subject, especially because she worked with him growing up. However, she emphasized that justice is important and everyone who deserves it should get it.
Excited. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but I used to do this show called That's So Raven. And we're doing a That's So Raven too.
Raven-Symoné left The View in 2016, and many people were curious about why she made that decision. Some thought it had to do with her controversial statements. I mean, she once said she would move to Canada if a Republican was nominated for president. That upset some viewers. But that wasn't the real reason she left.
Most of it is not said.
Really?
Most of it is, I should have just kept my mouth shut.
The main reason was actually exciting. Raven wanted to return to Disney Channel to work on a new project. She announced her departure on The View in October 2016. While speaking to the audience, she said, "I'm excited and sad, but I have an announcement to make. No, I'm not pregnant. We're doing a That's So Raven sequel. There's no title yet. I'm very excited. I'm going to be leaving before the year's up." Soon after, she left the show to focus on the new series, which became Raven's Home.
Raven Baxter. I'm still me, I'm still Raven, but I am a mother this time, and I'm actually going to be a single mother raising 2 kids, and one of them is going to learn that she has vision.
For Raven, Disney feels like home. She had a long history with the network, starting with her popular show, That's So Raven. She trusted Disney and felt comfortable there. In 2018, while working on Raven's Home, she explained why she chose to return to Disney. She said, "When you're learning something new, you don't start at the top. You start low, where there's a safety net." Raven also took on more responsibility this time. She wasn't just acting in Raven's Home, she was also the executive producer. This meant she helped make big decisions for the show. She admitted it was challenging, but she liked that she was learning in a safe environment. Leaving The View wasn't about avoiding controversy or drama. It was about following her passion and going back to where she felt happiest. Fans loved seeing her return to Disney and were excited about Raven's Home. Raven's decision proved that sometimes going back to your roots is the best way to grow.
Last month I lost my brother Blaze, and he is in a better place now.
Symone recently experienced a heartbreaking loss. Her brother, Blaze Pierman, passed away at the young age of 31 after bravely battling colon cancer for 2 years. This sad event happened not long after Raven celebrated her 38th birthday, making what should have been a happy time feel bittersweet. On December 11th, Raven shared her feelings on Instagram. She expressed her sadness and gratitude to her fans for their support. In her message, she said, "Thank you for all the love yesterday," but also admitted it was hard to fully celebrate knowing her brother wasn't there. Her words showed the mix of emotions people often feel when dealing with loss. Raven also posted a video where she talked directly to her fans. She said, "It was a little bittersweet for me, to be honest, because last month I lost my brother Blaze. Her emotions were clear as she spoke about the roller coaster of feelings she and her family have been going through. Grief, as she explained, is unpredictable, bringing waves of sadness, anger, and even moments of happiness when remembering good times. She shared that December 16th would have been Blaze's 32nd birthday. This upcoming day will likely be hard for Raven and her family, but may also give them a chance to celebrate his life. These kinds of milestones can be both painful and meaningful for people who are grieving. Raven and Blaze had a close bond as siblings. Born just days apart, they often celebrated their birthdays together in December, making their relationship even more special. Growing up, they shared many experiences and supported each other through life's ups and downs.
He is loved and missed, and the emotions that have been waving in and out of my body and mind and family have been.
While Raven pursued a career in the entertainment world, Blaze chose a different path. He preferred to stay out of the spotlight, but still supported Raven in her career. Occasionally, he made appearances with her, like during the first episode of Celebrity Family Feud. In 2008, Raven-Symoné and her brother Blaze Pierman appeared on Family Feud. It wasn't just about answering questions or winning a game. It gave fans a chance to see their playful connection. Blaze showed his fun and caring side while sharing the stage with his sister. That special moment also let people see the love and respect they had for each other. Over the years, Blaze often stood by Raven at red carpet events. He wasn't chasing fame himself, but was always there to cheer her on. These public appearances showed their strong sibling bond. They laughed, posed for photos, and celebrated life together. For Raven and Blaze, family always came first, no matter how different their paths were. After Blaze passed away, Raven took to Instagram to share her feelings. She kept her message short but full of love, writing, "I love you, Blaze." Those simple words carried so much meaning. They showed the depth of their connection, a love that didn't need many words. Losing someone so close leaves a big hole in your heart, and Raven's words reflected that pain. Raven also thanked her friends, family, and supporters who helped her through this tough time. She wrote, "I love you guys, my family on Instagram, my family at home, and my family and friends. You've been such an amazing support system." This gratitude showed how much she leaned on her community during her grief. Losing a loved one is never easy, but having people around to support you can make all the difference. Raven's wife, Miranda Madej, also shared her love in a simple way. She commented, "Love you." This small gesture was a big reminder of how important it is to have someone by your side when life gets hard. Miranda's support gave Raven strength during such a heartbreaking time. Friends from Raven's Cheetah Girls days also reached out. Sabrina Bryan, one of her co-stars, wrote a touching message. "I'm so sorry to hear this news, Raven. You were always such an awesome big sister who loved and adored your brother. Sending prayers to you and your family." This showed how much people noticed Raven's love for Blaze. Another co-star, Keely Williams, shared kind words too. She said, "I am so sorry. There are no words to ease this kind of pain, but I hope you find comfort in small moments of peace. You and your family are in my prayers." Keely's message reminded Raven, and anyone else dealing with grief, that healing takes time, and it's okay to take it one moment at a time. The loss of Blaze was a heavy blow for Raven and her family, but through the love of friends, her wife, and the memories she shared with Blaze, she found comfort. Their sibling bond was special and will always remain in her heart.
My back was up against a wall, I'm sure, but I would never try to hurt you.
Raven-Symoné and Keely Williams, who both starred in the Disney movie The Cheetah Girls, had a difficult relationship for a long time.
Cheetah sister.
Many fans wondered what happened behind the scenes, especially since Raven-Symoné didn't appear in the third movie, The Cheetah Girls One World. In 2020, during the COVID-19 lockdown, Raven-Symoné and Keely Williams had a conversation on Instagram Live where they openly talked about their issues and made peace with each other.
On purpose.
Well, I appreciate that, sweetheart, and I release any pain towards you that I have, and I can't.
Raven-Symoné explained that one reason she left the Cheetah Girls was because she felt excluded during the filming of the Cheetah Girls 2. She felt like there was a cliquish atmosphere, which made her feel left out. especially from her original team. She mentioned how, during that time, she became close friends with Belinda, a singer and actress who played the villain in the second movie. Raven-Symoné admitted that these feelings of being excluded were one of the factors that made her decide to leave. But it wasn't just the work situation that caused the tension. Raven-Symoné and Keely Williams also had some personal issues. They had a history that stretched back to their auditions, like the time Keely told Raven-Symoné that she had also auditioned for The Cosby Show, but didn't get the part. This reminded Raven-Symoné of old wounds, and things just didn't feel right between them. Keely admitted that she might have come across as too much at times, but said she never meant to hurt Raven-Symoné. During their Instagram conversation, Raven-Symoné forgave Keely and said she wanted to release any past pain. This moment of honesty and healing seemed to help them move forward. But Raven-Symoné didn't just stop with Keely. She also wanted to help Keely repair her relationship with their other Cheetah Girls co-star, Adrienne Bailon. Keely shared that she felt hurt because Adrienne didn't attend her father's funeral or reach out to her when he passed away. This was a big issue for Keely, but Raven-Symoné urged her to remember that friendships are more important than old grudges. Raven-Symoné encouraged Keely to talk things out with Adrienne. She reminded her that it's always better to try and fix relationships than hold on to the past. The conversation between the two was emotional, and it showed how even famous people go through struggles just like anyone else. These tough times, like the pandemic, have taught us all to appreciate the people we care about. Fans are now hoping for a Cheetah Girls reunion and for the former stars to continue healing their relationships. Again, Raven spoke about her personal experiences with culture and identity in another interview, and her comments sparked a huge debate. Many people misunderstood her and thought she was rejecting her cultural roots. This led to a wave of backlash, with some accusing her of denying who she really is. Even when she tried to explain what she meant, things only got more complicated. Instead of clearing things up, her attempts to clarify sometimes made people even more upset. For Raven, this kind of criticism feels very personal. It's not just about what people say, it's also about how it affects her emotionally. She has to deal with the pressure of always defending herself, trying to explain her thoughts and balancing her private feelings with what the public expects from her. This constant cycle of criticism and explanation can make her feel overwhelmed and stressed,